When you hear the word addiction, what image forms in your mind? A shadowy alley? Perhaps someone you believe chose this life? Today, we're dismantling myths and shattering stereotypes. From the choices we believe addicts make, to the places we think addiction thrives, and even down to our misconceptions about recovery. Join us as we uncover the 21 things you should never assume about addiction. Assumption number 1. It's a choice. Addiction isn't merely about lacking willpower. The struggle involves a combination of genetic factors, brain chemistry, and life circumstances. Many addictive substances manipulate the brain's reward system, leading individuals to prioritize the substance over other life activities and responsibilities. The physical and psychological dependencies developed over time can make quitting without assistance incredibly challenging. Dismissing it as a choice oversimplifies the complexity and disregards the multifaceted factors at play in the development and perpetuation of addiction. Assumption number 2. All addicts look and act the same. Addiction knows no boundaries. It affects individuals from varied backgrounds, ages, and socioeconomic statuses, shattering the myth that there's a typical addict look or behavior. This stereotype often perpetuates harmful stigmas, leading to discrimination and misconceptions. The face of addiction can be anyone, from a corporate executive to a college student, from the elderly woman living next door to the young athlete in peak physical condition. Recognizing and challenging this assumption is crucial to fostering understanding and supporting those in their recovery journey. Assumption number 3. It's only about illegal drugs. Legal substances like alcohol and prescription medications can be just as addictive. The emphasis on illegal drugs often overshadows the real dangers posed by over-the-counter or prescribed medicines when misused. Behavioral addictions like gambling, shopping, or even excessive internet use also highlight that addiction extends beyond substances, encompassing actions and behaviors that provide a temporary escape or rush. This assumption, if unchallenged, can blind society to the pervasive nature of addiction in its various forms, preventing individuals from recognizing and seeking help for their dependencies. Understanding addiction requires a holistic approach that considers both substance and behavioral manifestations. Assumption number 4. Detox equals recovery. Detoxification is merely the first step in a much longer and intricate process of healing and reclaiming one's life from addiction. While detox can rid the body of the substance, it doesn't address the root causes, triggers, or the psychological dependencies associated with addiction. True recovery is a prolonged journey, necessitating continuous support, therapy, and effort. It involves building coping mechanisms, relearning life skills, and often mending broken relationships. Equating detox to full recovery is a dangerous oversimplification that can lead to relapse, discouragement, and misunderstandings about the persistence and dedication needed to maintain sobriety. Assumption number 5. Relapse means failure. Relapse, though frustrating, is often part of the healing journey, reflecting the complexities and challenges of addiction recovery. Many individuals on the path to sobriety will experience moments of setback, but this doesn't negate their previous efforts or diminish their ability to continue forward. It's an opportunity for reflection, understanding what triggered the relapse, and making necessary adjustments in their recovery plan. Rather than a sign of defeat, relapse can be a powerful reminder of the need for ongoing support and vigilance. It's essential to approach relapse with compassion, understanding, and a renewed commitment to the recovery journey. Assumption number 6. Addicts lack morality. Addiction is a complex health issue, rooted in brain chemistry, genetics, and often exacerbated by personal trauma or environmental factors. It's not an indication of a person's moral strength or character. By associating addiction with morality, society perpetuates harmful stigmas that cast individuals struggling with addiction as bad or weak-willed. This mischaracterization not only alienates those seeking help, but also hinders open and constructive conversations about the true nature of addiction and its treatment. Understanding addiction from a health and scientific perspective, rather than a moral one, is essential for fostering empathy, offering appropriate support, and combating the stereotypes that impede recovery efforts. Assumption number 7. You can spot an addict. The belief that addicts have a specific look or behavior is a deeply ingrained misconception. Addiction doesn't discriminate and can affect anyone, regardless of their appearance, social status, or background. By assuming one can spot an addict, we risk perpetuating stereotypes that can further isolate and stigmatize individuals who are struggling. This assumption fails to account for the many high-functioning individuals who might be battling addiction in silence while maintaining an outward appearance of normalcy. Furthermore, making snap judgments based solely on appearance can lead to missed opportunities for understanding, support, and intervention. Breaking free from this assumption is a step towards creating a more compassionate and understanding society that recognizes the multifaceted and hidden nature of addiction. Assumption number 8. Tough love is always the answer. The concept of tough love has been popularized over the years as a one-size-fits-all approach to dealing with addiction. While boundaries are undoubtedly vital in maintaining one's own mental and emotional well-being, relying solely on strictness can sometimes push the individual further away. Understanding, compassion, and empathy are often the cornerstones of fostering a supportive environment where a person feels safe enough to seek help and address the underlying causes of their addiction. Moreover, each person's journey with addiction is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. It's essential to strike a balance, tailoring the approach based on the individual's needs and circumstances. Adopting a black-and-white stance can hinder genuine connection and trust, elements crucial for recovery. Assumption number 9. Only weak people get addicted. The idea that only weak individuals succumb to addiction is a dangerous and limiting misconception. Addiction is a multifaceted issue, rooted in neurobiology, genetics, environmental factors, and often personal trauma. It doesn't discriminate based on personal strength, intelligence, character, or willpower. Some of the most accomplished, driven, and seemingly resilient individuals have battled addiction. By labeling addiction as a weakness, society inadvertently creates an environment where strong-willed or successful individuals may feel additional shame or denial, potentially deterring them from acknowledging their struggles or seeking the help they need. To truly address and understand addiction, it's vital to remove the lens of judgment and approach the topic with an open mind and empathy. Assumption number 10. It's purely genetic. While genetics can influence one's susceptibility to addiction, it's a vast oversimplification to attribute addiction solely to one's genes. Addiction is a multifactorial condition, with environment, personal trauma, mental health, and societal influences playing equally pivotal roles. For instance, someone with a genetic predisposition might never develop an addiction if they grow up in a nurturing environment, free from significant traumas, and with robust mental health support. Conversely, someone without a genetic predisposition might fall into addiction due to severe trauma, peer pressure, or coexisting mental health conditions. Reducing addiction to just genetics can lead to fatalism or misplaced blame on family lineage, rather than considering the holistic picture and multiple factors that intertwine in the path of addiction. Assumption number 11. Rehab is a guaranteed cure. Rehabilitation centers offer a structured environment designed to help individuals address and manage their addictions. However, thinking of rehab as a definitive cure is a misunderstanding of the recovery process. While rehab provides essential tools, coping strategies, and therapeutic support, recovery is often a lifelong journey that requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and support beyond the confines of a rehabilitation center. Additionally, what works for one individual might not work for another, emphasizing the need for personalized care and post-rehab support. Viewing rehab as a one-and-done solution can set unrealistic expectations and undermine the continuous effort required to maintain sobriety and overall well-being. True recovery often involves not just abstaining from substances or behaviors, but also rebuilding and nurturing one's mental, emotional, and physical health. Assumption number 12, everyone must hit rock bottom. The notion that someone must hit rock bottom before they can truly recover is a pervasive but misleading belief. While some individuals have epiphanies during their lowest moments, many others benefit from early intervention long before a severe crisis occurs. Waiting for such a dramatic low point can unnecessarily risk lives, relationships, and overall well-being. It can exacerbate the damage to one's health, financial situation, and personal connections. Additionally, the longer one waits to address an addiction, the more entrenched the habits and behaviors become, potentially making recovery even more challenging. Encouraging intervention and support at the earliest signs of addiction can prevent needless suffering and pave a smoother path towards recovery. Recognizing and addressing problematic behaviors early on can lead to more successful and less traumatic recovery experiences. Assumption number 13, you're too young to be addicted. Age doesn't provide a protective barrier against the clutches of addiction. The misconception that youth equates to immunity can be incredibly damaging and prevent early intervention. Young people, even in their early teens or younger, can develop addictions, often fueled by factors like peer pressure, trauma, or mental health struggles. Dismissing the possibility of addiction due to age can lead to missed signs and extended periods of suffering. Recognizing and addressing signs of addiction early on in a young person's life can be pivotal in redirecting their trajectory, ensuring they have the support and resources they need to grow and thrive. It's essential to approach the topic with empathy and understanding, free from age-related judgments, to provide the best care and support. Assumption number 14, only certain types of people get addicted. The stereotype that only specific types or groups of people are susceptible to addiction is both misleading and harmful. In reality, addiction does not discriminate based on race, gender, religion, socioeconomic status, education level, or any other demographic factor. People from all walks of life, from affluent neighborhoods to underprivileged communities, from every cultural background and age group, can and do struggle with addiction. Propagating this stereotype not only perpetuates harmful biases, but can also prevent individuals outside of the perceived type from acknowledging their struggles and seeking help. To combat addiction effectively, it's imperative to recognize and challenge these biases, ensuring that everyone has access to the understanding, resources, and support they need, free from judgment or prejudice. Assumption number 15. It's easy to quit if you really want to. Believing that simply wanting to quit is all it takes to overcome addiction is a gross oversimplification of a deeply complex issue. Addiction often involves both psychological and physiological components, with many substances causing physical dependencies that lead to painful or even dangerous withdrawal symptoms. For many individuals, even if the desire to quit is strong, the physical and emotional grip of the substance can be overwhelming. Beyond physical dependency, external factors such as one's environment, social circle, and access to resources play a crucial role in the recovery process. Someone surrounded by triggers or lacking a supportive network might find it incredibly challenging to break free, regardless of their determination. Recognizing that the path out of addiction involves multifaceted challenges can foster greater empathy and more effective support for those striving to recover. Assumption number 16. Addiction is only an urban problem. The misconception that addiction is solely a problem in urban areas is far from reality. Whether in bustling cities, quiet suburban neighborhoods, or rural communities, addiction knows no geographical boundaries. Rural areas, in fact, often face unique challenges like limited access to treatment facilities, leading to heightened struggles for those facing addiction. Furthermore, the isolation and limited resources in these areas can sometimes exacerbate the issue. Urban areas might have a higher visibility of certain addictive behaviors due to dense populations, but this in no way means rural or suburban regions are exempt. Dismissing addiction as only an urban issue overlooks countless individuals in need and can stymie efforts to provide necessary resources and support to all communities. Recognizing the pervasive nature of addiction helps ensure that everyone, regardless of location, has the opportunity for awareness, understanding, and recovery. Assumption number 17. All rehab programs are the same. Contrary to popular belief, rehabilitation programs are not a one-size-fits-all solution. Like any other medical or therapeutic intervention, rehab centers vary widely in their philosophies, treatment modalities, staff expertise, facilities, and overall approach to addiction recovery. Some might emphasize holistic practices, while others might prioritize medical treatments or cognitive behavioral therapy. There are also specialized programs that cater to specific demographics, such as adolescents, veterans, or those with co-occurring mental health disorders. The effectiveness of a rehab program can also depend on the individual's specific needs, history, and circumstances. Therefore, it's paramount for individuals and their loved ones to research and find a program that aligns with their needs, ensuring the highest chance of sustained recovery. Dismissing the differences between rehab programs can potentially lead to ineffective treatments and unmet expectations. Assumption number 18. Substitution therapy is just replacing one addiction for another. This common misconception stems from a lack of understanding about the principles and goals of substitution or replacement therapy. Medications like methadone or buprenorphine are not simply swapping out one drug for another. Instead, they are carefully administered under medical supervision to stabilize individuals and alleviate withdrawal symptoms without producing the euphoria associated with opioid misuse. This approach allows individuals to break free from the cycle of seeking illicit drugs and engage more effectively in therapy, employment, and other facets of daily life. The medications used in substitution therapy are long-acting, reducing drug cravings and the risk of overdose. They also provide a stepping stone towards complete recovery, allowing individuals to rebuild their lives without the constant threat of relapse. Criticizing substitution therapy without recognizing its clinical benefits can deter those who might significantly benefit from this life-saving intervention. Assumption number 19. Addicts should just stop cold turkey. The idea of quitting an addictive substance cold turkey often stems from a misunderstanding of the intricacies of addiction and how it affects the body and brain. While the concept might sound straightforward, abruptly stopping the intake of certain substances can have profound physical and psychological effects. For substances like alcohol, benzodiazepines, and opioids, sudden discontinuation can trigger severe withdrawal symptoms that range from intense cravings, anxiety, and depression to seizures, hallucinations, and even death. It's not just about mental fortitude. The body has become physiologically dependent on the substance, and removing it suddenly can cause a shock to the system. Moreover, quitting without medical supervision or support can lead to a higher risk of relapse, as individuals may turn back to the substance to alleviate painful withdrawal symptoms. Safe and effective cessation often requires a comprehensive approach that includes medical oversight, therapy, and ongoing support to navigate the challenges of withdrawal and the journey to recovery. Assumption number 20. Only hard drugs are dangerous. The categorization of substances into hard and soft or light drugs can be misleading and often underestimates the potential dangers associated with all substance use. Every drug, whether it's caffeine, alcohol, marijuana, or more potent substances like heroin, has its own set of risks and potential side effects. Even substances often perceived as less harmful, such as marijuana or prescription medications, can lead to dependency, mental health challenges, or adverse health effects when misused or used over extended periods. Additionally, many lighter drugs can serve as gateways to experimenting with stronger substances, creating a snowball effect of increased risk and potential harm. Overlooking the dangers of these so-called soft drugs can delay necessary interventions, prolonging an individual's exposure to harm and reducing the chances of a successful recovery. It's essential to recognize and respect the risks associated with any substance and approach its use with caution and understanding. Assumption number 21. Addiction is just a phase. The idea that addiction is just a passing phase in someone's life can be incredibly damaging. This misconception usually arises when observing young individuals experimenting with substances, leading many to believe that it's just a typical rite of passage or a rebellious act that they'll eventually grow out of. However, addiction is a complex interplay of brain chemistry, environmental factors, and personal experiences. While some might experiment and move on, others can quickly develop a dependency, leading to a long-term struggle. By categorizing addiction as just a phase, we risk minimizing the urgency and importance of intervention. Early and consistent support is often crucial to prevent a lifetime of challenges. Beyond the physical and mental health risks, addiction can derail educational pursuits, career opportunities, and meaningful relationships. Recognizing and treating addiction as a serious concern rather than a temporary phase is pivotal for ensuring that individuals get the help and support they need to thrive. Now I have a question for you. Are you, or is someone you know, struggling with addiction? I want you to know that we're here for you. There's a link and a phone number in the description and also pinned in the comments. You can call anytime, and a caring, discreet, and knowledgeable professional will listen and provide you with options at no cost to you. And if this video spoke to you, would you do us a huge favor and click the like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our newest videos? We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.